Hello, hello, hello everyone, Ziljin here with another vlog. Let's talk about things. So yeah, apparently Venom is a mega hit and Sony producers are saying Carnage doesn't need to be R-rated. Yeah, so yeah, mostly you're gonna be talking about, of course, more comic book news, and also if you can go Google it. The new CW Batwoman, Ruby Rose, the first picture, she looks really amazing, and apparently she quit social media because people were bullying her. Like what the f, yo? Yeah, yeah. I didn't follow the news back then, but she looks amazing, awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. She's gonna be in the CW universe. I'm glad they're having so many. I like the CW universe more than the DC extended universe. I like everything better. The DC animated, like DC extended universe is the worst of all the DC stuff. But anyway, so back to Sony. Sony's Marvel universe of Spider-Man characters. I'm just still calling it the Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe, even though Spider-Man isn't in it. Also, no spoilers for the Venom movie, although it kind of spoilers, like, because the article straight up just spoils it. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, like, it's been hinted at, people have been talking about Carnage obviously would show up eventually. So yeah, so Sony producers saying Carnage doesn't have to be R-rated, and Morbius is going to be the next Spider-Man cinematic universe movie. Yeah, so yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and read some of the article. I don't have to say that every time, right? Do I? Okay. Whether you think the film is good or bad, Sony/Columbia Pictures Venom is a mega hit. It didn't come without problems, which really started when news hit that the studios would force a PG-13 out of what we all thought would be getting an R rating. Yeah. Interestingly, the biggest issues with the Spider-Man spin-off had nothing to do with the violence, but the sloppy filmmaking from the writing all the way to the post-work. Yeah, I did read something about, like, Tom Hardy saying, like, his favorite parts of the movie was cut out of the movie, but, like, yeah, apparently there's going to be two cuts. The theatrical cut will be PG-13, and then later on, they're going to release the director's cut, which has the R-rated scenes all back into it, the extended edition, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, Lord of the Rings is super famous for that kind of thing, but, like, the comic book movies usually don't do that except for the X-Men Days of Future Past, where apparently they cut out, like, all the scenes with Rogue in it. So they added it back in. And also, Deadpool 2 has the super duper cut, which also adds in extra scenes of mostly violence, but also some other extra scenes as well. Yeah. So anyway, now that Venom is a blockbuster, a sequel is inevitable. Yeah. And spoilers, dang it. I mean, yeah, I got spoilers for it. I haven't got a chance to see the movie yet, but I mean, they've been saying, I'll just say it. So yeah, the ending of the movie, bam, introduces Carnage. Oh wait, it doesn't, does it? It just introduces Cletus Cassidy, who eventually becomes Carnage. Oh, so okay, yeah. So Carnage isn't technically in the movie yet, but yeah, spoilers, of course. So they're saying probably Carnage is gonna be in the sequel, or they're gonna have their own spin-off, or whatever. But saying, like, while Venom slowly became an anti-hero in the Marvel Comics, the Carnage was much more vicious. The homicidal maniac is a serial killer that bonded with a symbiote, which makes him more deadly than Venom. How do you raise the stakes in a Venom sequel with Carnage if we can't see Venom biting someone's head off? I'm guessing that means he bit nobody's head off in this movie, which I guess, I mean, I'm not saying that's like the key feature of Venom. He has to eat people and stuff. Like, I'm sure that'd be cool to see, but I don't necessarily require that. I mean, I like Venom in the cartoons and Spider-Man cartoons, and he never, like, eats people or anything like that. So yeah. I don't know, maybe other comic book fans views it as like a vital component of Venom that he must be vicious and eat people and stuff like that. Like, yeah. Does Carnage even do that? Like, he's supposed to be super violent and vicious and stuff. He just slices people up, right? Just murders people. Yeah. Somehow that's not as bad as, biting people and stuff, eating people. Yeah. It's easy to get ahead of ourselves and declare this a bad problem, but yeah. And then he's like, bleep, I'm doing it right now. But from a business perspective, it makes sense to keep these PG-13, especially when they're all set to live within Spider-Man's universe. Sony producers Avi Arad and Matt Tomac explain their thought process to Collider, and while it does feel excuse heavy, they make some sense. It's hard to disagree with them when Venom just absorbed all the money in the box office this past weekend. And if it had failed, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. So yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but there was like bots from Lady Gaga's fans or something going like, "Oh, Venom is a terrible movie. We luckily we got to watch all A Star Is Born instead." Like, I've been a super long time Marvel fan. Like, it seems like some like these bots, they're just all copy and paste, and they just seem to get extremely more crazy, And then like someone's like, "Oh my God, Venom is LGBT liberal propaganda." I'd rather watch Lady Gaga's A Star Is Born, which is freaking crazy because Lady Gaga is an LGBT icon. She's known for being super supportive of the LGBT community. Yeah, so yeah, that I feel like the bot just like search for like, maybe they search for like whatever like words show up in negative movie reviews, and it's always going like, "Oh, LGBT liberals," and yeah, because a lot of movies now have that backlash, like, "Oh, the agenda, making everyone gay and stuff like that." Yeah, so yeah, I guess they just saw those reviews, those bots, and just copy and paste snippets of it, and bam, that's how that review was born. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So it turns out Venom is super, super duper awesome. Yeah, made tons of money. I guess maybe the average movie viewer didn't even know about all those botted negative reviews, And even Rotten Tomatoes, before the movie officially released, it was like bombarded with negative critic reviews. But now the audience reviews is actually pretty good. So maybe the critics were paid to like as a hit job. Like, there's any conspiracy theories like DC paid reviewers to make it look as bad as possible to try to hinder their success and stuff like that. Who knows, right? I mean, definitely there's something amiss there. Yeah. So yeah, and this Tomac is talking about, wait, what? Yeah, so the R-rated, when graded with another question about a potential R-rated Marvel film at Sony, Arad exclaimed again what I said to you before: it depends on the story. If the success of the story depends on being R-rated, then yeah, it could be, yeah. But Venom was supposed to be, apparently they're gonna like, "Oh, it's gonna be like Logan, it's gonna be like Deadpool, R-rated, and make tons of money." And then like now it's like, "Oh no, PG-13 is gonna be bad," and then bam, it turned out to be amazing even without the R-rated. Honestly, I don't see the point. I mean, not like it, like, comic book movies don't have to be R-rated to be good. They just, in my opinion, they just need to have the costumes, they use the powers, have the crossovers and the, then all the references and the comic book events and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, Venom looks like Venom, so yeah, that's enough for me, pretty much, Yeah. And Eddie Brock is a journalist. Yeah, so yeah. And for, the anti-SJW crowd, Eddie Brock is white and played by the white actor, so it's pretty accurate to the comic book, just minus the rated R violence. Yeah, that's definitely not vital. Yeah. Anyway, back on track, so like, yeah. It's like, of course we can do it, but for me, at least for me, I got grandkids, I got kids, etc. All these things, I'm assuming all these things includes nieces and grandnieces and nephews and grandnephews or something like that. If he has grandkids, he definitely got grandnephews and stuff, like all this extended family, tons of kids and stuff, they're dying to see, as I took my grandson 7 to the recording session of Venom, he had the time of his life. You know, he wouldn't have this super ultra gory, violent movie to show little kids, right? Like, little kids want to see the Venom movie, definitely. They want to see all the comic book movies. I'm pretty sure they saw Deadpool. You know, all the little kids and stuff. Yeah, I don't think there's a rule written in stone that all of them have to be one thing. You know, right? Oh, okay, yeah. I think what Avi's saying is right. I think we talked about it. Well, if one thing presents itself in a way. Look, we've all seen, as you said, the R-rated movies of these R-rated versions of these movies not working. So that's out there. You can succeed to a staggering degree. They make note that it's important not to compromise the character. I think it's debatable what they did with Venom, but then again, it does work fine without him being as on-screen violence. With that said, they claim Carnage's backstory isn't one that needs an R rating, even though he's a murderer. You know what? When you hear Venom, forget Venom. When you hear Carnage, the only thing you can think of is R. But if you know his story, if you really know the comic, there's no R there. He's a tortured soul. It's not about what he does, because we never have to show the knife going from here to there and the blood is pouring. What you have to show is, what is the motivation? Was he born like that? Or is someone we should feel for? Or because, you know, if you're succeeding to make a villain, someone you can feel for, jackpot. Yeah, so Venom 2 is a long way out, but next up is Morbius the Living Vampire, played by Jared Leto. I loved him as Joker, which apparently everyone hated him as, because everyone's like, oh, Heath Ledger is the best Joker in the universe, and like, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of him. He didn't really look like Joker. I guess because he had the long hair. Not that I have anything against it. I have long hair. I love long hair. I think guys with long hair is cool. It's just that Joker, like every cartoon, comic book, video game, movie, etc., always has Joker with, you know, the super short hair. So yeah. And also, it wasn't like super neon bright green. And then he didn't have like super awesome like makeup, you know. He had to, it looked like really crappy looking makeup, like I guess it's more realistic looking. But yeah, I don't care about the realism, man. I want to watch comic book movies to see like cartoony stuff. I don't want to care about the realism. If I want to care about realism, I'll just watch like a regular cop, realistic cop movie, you know. I want to see the cartoony stuff, the colorful, bright, unrealistic stuff, you know. Yeah, that's why I love the cartoons, which I've said like a bazillion times already. So yeah, Jared Leto is going to be shooting around 2019. In a film, he's playing a scientist who's trying to find a cure for a rare blood disease, accidentally transforming himself into a living vampire. Though he's disgusted by his bloodlust, but he chooses to prey upon criminals he deems unworthy of life. Nice. And then there's a picture here of a random vampire. I don't think it's Jared Leto. But yeah. So yeah. Hopefully everyone enjoyed watching this video. What do you think? What are your thoughts, you know? Are you excited to see Batwoman? I briefly mentioned that, you know. She's going to be in the Arrowverse, CW Arrowverse. And, you know, would you watch a Carnage movie that's PG-13? I mean, really, I don't need to see guts and gore anywhere. Like, I've seen lots of PG-13 movies and R-rated movies where I couldn't really tell the difference. Usually the difference is R-rated movies. The main difference for me is R-rated movies gonna have naked people up the wazoo. And yeah. So yeah. Like, and obviously there's more bloody guts and gore. Like, I don't need to see that in comic book movies. But that's just me, I guess. Like, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's my final thoughts. So hopefully everyone enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to subscribe, comment, rate the video. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye. Bye.